the East of England's Plastics Coalition, otherwise known as the EPC. So what is the EPC? It's basically a coalition of various partners aiming to reduce plastic pollution in East Anglia, specifically Lincolnshire, Norfolk, Suffolk, Cambridgeshire, Essex. So in many ways it's mimicking, already it's an established community of practice for the marine plastic element of East Mead. We have two working groups, so an Unflushables working group, as well as a marine debris working group, and I'll be obviously discussing the marine debris working group, what we do in our activities today. I work for a consultancy called Eunomia, who are the secretariat for the coalition, and it's funded by Anglian Water and recently RWE with Farm Developer. Just to give you a little idea, our logo kind of is meant to give an indication of some of our aims. So we've got some of the problem items there. We've got crab and lobster pots, a plastic bottle, a sanitary pad as part of the Unflushables working group, and then the circular symbols on the outside highlights our aim to provide circular solutions for the problem items. So yeah, as I said, we've got two working groups, the marine debris working group and the Unflushables. Each working group meets online for about an hour, 4 times a year, and we also have a wider coalition meeting where everyone comes together, and that's longer. Basically the purpose is networking and information exchange, hosting speakers, knowledge generation, as well as project initiation, coordination and sourcing funding, and I'll get some examples of that a bit later. So the marine debris working group was initiated in 2021, so a bit later. It has two primary aims. So number one, removal of marine debris from the environment and finding circular solutions for that plastic marine debris, as well as our second aim is to prevent items from entering the source. Just to give you a quick flavour of some of the speaker topics that we had just last year. So we had speakers talking about modelling marine debris pathways into UK waters, fish abuse on ADLFG, for those who don't know, that's abandoned, discarded, lost or otherwise lost fishing gear. Evaluation of mechanical marine litter removers, innovative methods for raising issue awareness, new grade quantities of ADLFG and end-of-life gear. There's various updates on different schemes relevant to our work, such as Fishing for Litter, the ANLRS scheme and the Waves of Waste initiative. Also Sainsbury's Ghost Net project, as well as general partner updates and project updates. Just to give a flavour of some of our organisations that are coalition partners, it's kind of split up onto the left-hand side. One's related to the marine debris working group, on the right more Unflushables, although some do cross over between both working groups. And at the top there, the sponsors, RWE. So this obviously doesn't need a lot of explanation. You guys, anyone will know why marine debris, plastic marine debris is a real problem. In our region, ghost pots are particularly an issue. There's a big fishery, obviously, fished on the Norfolk coast for potting, generally about ADFG is a particular concern for our working group, and it's what we really aim to mitigate against. It's hard to know exactly what proportion of marine debris is formed of ADFG. I think some studies, there's one that I found that I think up in Scottish Islands, it was something like 67%, but then I think most estimates have been between 20 and 30%. And obviously there's various methodological issues in trying to use beach cleaning data to estimate the wider prevalence, but yeah, it's interesting. And so in terms of our partner activities, so in terms of removal from the environment, we've we've got 3 principal partners engaged in that. So Keep Britain Tidy, the Marine Conservation Norfolk Action Group, and the Norfolk Beach Cleaners. Marine Conservation Norfolk Action Group with NAG, they actually kind of collect data from a few different beach cleaning groups, including Norfolk Beach Cleaners, and they keep Britain Tidy their own separate reporting and set of data. So you can see that in 2023, for the EBC's geographical remit, the beach cleans KBT conducted 287 beach cleans involving 936 bags of litter filled. Various other statistics you can see on the screen there. And with NAG, they collectively hosted 220 beach cleans, collected 173 bags of litter filled, but also an additional 1,602 kilos of additional marine debris, including 82 crab pots, 156 canisters, pieces of net, large rope and buoys. Remember, this is just from what's washed up onto the beach. So, yeah. Now kind of getting into the meat and bones of what we're really trying to do, initiate change, initiate meaningful change. So I think things really kicked off in 2022 when received funding by the EA as part of their Champion Coastal Coordination Initiative. We hosted a series of workshops with fishers and interested parties at different locations on the Norfolk and Suffolk coast. Sorry, I forget to mention, Dale Powell is some of you may know from the Washington Norfolk Marine Partnership. She's our chair in the Really Working Group, and she led much of that work. Yes, the aim of these workshops were to kind of get a qualitative understanding of the kinds of marine debris people are seeing, the quantities, and also come up with solutions. And this fed directly into our second project, which was a marine debris recycling pilot project funded by Natural England. And this ran for 6 weeks, and basically what we did is we had 10 large bins, kind of wheelie bins you see in that middle picture. They were put in different locations, and then beach cleaners could take marine debris and deposit in it. At the end of the 6-week timeline, Norfolk County Council, they took it all to the site in Cromer, and Natural England volunteers and myself. We sorted through the different debris, and we put it into different types, and surveyed it, recorded it. At the same time, at that collection location, we held a Fisher Amnesty Day, so EFCA invited local fishers to bring in end-of-life gear that they didn't really know what to do with, or don't have a means of disposal since it's commercial waste, and that was added to our to the amounts. So you can see that during that time, over 6 weeks, and plus the Amnesty Day, collected 400 kilos of rope, mixed net, plastic canisters, mussel lace, and plastic crates, and 57 crab and lobster pots. And this was all recycled by, obviously, Innovation, who are a specialist recycler in marine debris, plastic marine debris, based down in the southwest. Moving on to the next project, the pot tagging scheme. If an EPC were a little more distance from this, it was mainly involved in sourcing the funding for it. So it was WWF funding to source, and it was part of a feasibility. It funded the feasibility study to inform the regulatory bylaw for fishing in the Cromer Shoals MCZ, which is proposing for mandatory pot tagging for fishers using that zone. Basically involved material and technology trials, as well as identifying costs and challenges for fishers for the implementation of the bylaw. And then moving on to what is kind of ongoing, what we're looking forward to. So, as I said previously, RWE, the wind farm developer, have recently come on board to the EPC, and as part of their benefit compensatory measures touched on by Jennifer earlier, Marine debris is part of that, and so yeah, that's why they're involved with us, and they're sponsoring a series of Fisher Amnesty Days, so like we held in the pilot, but a lot more organised. That was quite ad hoc and last minute in the pilot. And this is going to be, more established, a series of Amnesty Days along the Norfolk and Suffolk coast, and potentially additional locations subject to further agreement. And then, as with the pilot, it's going to be recycled, with the pots going up to recycler in Hull, as obviously Innovation are not able to process that due to the difficulties in the materials. And yes, there's also potential for expansion of the project. Orsted, another wind farm developer, as part of their compensatory measures, are involved with fishing for litter, and so potentially we will recycle that waste which currently goes to landfill. RWE have also, for this next project, agreed to expand marine debris collection activities for our partners in the EPC's geographical remit. So that's basically paying for additional staff time to coordinate and expand activities, fund equipment hire, recycling costs, that's another element. So making sure that this stuff, it has a responsible end-of-life pathway, and also feeding into the expansion of keeping the tidies, Great British Spoon Clean. So to touch on Bob's final request for reflections on 2023 and looking forward, I think, it showed that the great opportunities that exist for the EPC as a forum in collaboration, and I think a lot of exciting work has been generated from it and brought in a lot of different people. So it's very much exciting in that sense. I think one of the major challenges for me as Secretariat has been a bit frustrating in the time it's taken for certain things to be agreed upon when you're dealing with these very large organisations and large contracts and stuff like that. So that's a lot of that's been. But as I say, I think it's a space, and if you want to learn EPC, anyone wants to join, it's not just me, but I lead on the marine debris element. Or if you want to know more about Eunomia, I work for, but just please email me win.twitter@eunomia.co.uk, and that's it.